Greetings, my name is Patrick Fenkau with the Asset Protection Center. I am an estate planning attorney focused in the field of asset protection and elder law out in the state of California and Florida. Today, let's talk about estate planning and exactly what its definition is. The basic definition is the process of planning for the administration of an individual's estate. And think of the word estate as affairs. Things, assets. Now, what does that mean in real-life application? Well, a good estate plan should have you answer questions and encompass them within legal documents. And some of those questions might be, who should be your legal guardian for your minor children, let's say. In the event something happens to you, you want to have someone that you trust that will take care of them for the remainder of until they reach adulthood, basically. Then there are questions such as healthcare decisions. Should you be found in a vegetative state? Who and when should that individual be allowed to pull the plug? Now, this situation was made very famous by what was called the Terri Schiavo case out in the early 2000s, I believe. And unfortunately, this lady was left in a vegetative state for approximately 7 to 8 years because her parents and her husband could not come to an agreement as to what her wishes would have been had she been found in that situation. So those are some of the questions you do not want to leave your loved ones to deal with without your specific set of instructions. And then there are the tax estate questions. As of 2012, the estate tax is at $5 million, but it is very possible that come 2013, it reverts back to $1 million. And what that entails basically is that any asset you have over that $1 million cap, should you pass away, will be taxed at approximately 50%. So that is quite a hefty number, as you can imagine, and you can zero out that estate tax if you plan properly. Now, what are the two instruments that an estate plan has available at your disposal? There are two main ones. It is called the last will and testament and the revocable living trust. A last will and testament basically outlines how an individual's assets are to be distributed upon death. Now, per its definition, this only applies once you pass away. A revocable living trust, on the other hand, is a legal document that explains how assets are to be distributed or held for a class of beneficiaries during that person's lifetime. A revocable living trust has three main parties: the grantor, also known as the settlor or trustor. Those are interchangeable. They all mean the same terms. The individual that creates the trust. The trustee, the person who you would trust to execute your wishes and desires per the trust book. And finally, beneficiaries, the individuals who you want to receive those assets. During your lifetime, you play all three parties, and per its definition, revocable living trust, you're allowed to change it during your lifetime as you see fit. Now, if you die without either a last will and testament or a revocable living trust, you will pass away in what is called intestacy. Now, think of intestacy as the court coming in order to make a determination as to what you would have wanted to happen to your assets. Now, if you found this interesting, I encourage you to visit us at www.assetprotectioncenter.com, or feel free to give me a call at 714-966-2646, and I'll be happy to discuss your case with you. Thank you for your time, and I will see you next time.